What do we do or have as a country that we can honestly say we do better than anyone in the world? Well, how about our scientific pedigree? This is the country of Newton's apple and laws of motion, of the discovery of the structure of DNA, the invention of vaccines, the discovery of penicillin, of locomotives, of natural selection, of Rutherford, Turing, Newton, Hawking, Darwin, Alexander Fleming, Ada Lovelace, Dorothy Hodgkin, Mary Somerville, Mary Anning, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, and Michael Faraday, of the invention of computing and the internet, of graphene, the so-called miracle material, of Tim Berners-Lee and Demis Hassabis, and Paul Nurse. And yet today, according to one of those names, we are jeopardising our scientific future, in particular, perhaps with a visa system that stops great minds coming here to advance common knowledge. Well, Professor Sir Paul Nurse, I mentioned in that list, the new president of the Royal Society, which is the body which champions science in this country, and a winner of the Nobel Prize for his extraordinary work on the cell cycle, joins us now. Professor Sir Paul, good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
You look like you wanted to correct me when I defined the Royal Society thus.
Well, I'd say it's actually even more important than what you said, because I would say it's now the most important science academy in the world, given what's happening in the United States at the present time, which is muzzling scientists and muzzling the academy because they, frankly, are scared. So we have a particular responsibility for the world to promote science, to explain how science is so important for societal goods, important for economic growth. It's really central to society and should be central to government. And that's,
what are we getting wrong? I mean, you want as in your designation as president of the Royal Society to say that we are getting certain things wrong. Let's do it under two headings: people first, and then secondly, money. In terms of people, are we supporting the people we've got, and are we getting the people we need?
We are doing well, but we mustn't be complacent. As you gave this great list of achievements, and we've done it recently too, but there is a sort of whiff of complacency for me. Funding isn't as good as it should be. I mean, obviously we're grateful we're not being reduced in the present economic situation, but we need to recognise we are only providing 0.5%. The government is only providing 0.5% of its GDP for science it supports. That's halfway down the OECD table. So it's not brilliant. The funding isn't brilliant, and we need to recognise that. But that's only one part of it. The second part of it is how we deliver the funding. We're being a bit casual about it. We need to really look at it root and branch so we actually direct funding in the right way and to the right people.
Just on the point about funding, we'll come back maybe to this issue of visas. But on the funding, the government did announce an £86 billion funding package for R&D in June. That works out at about 22.5 billion annually by 2029-30. And there's also this ARIA, the ARIA, the Advanced Research and Invention Agency. On those two fronts, isn't the government doing a bit?
As I said, I think they're doing as well as could be expected in the present economic circumstances. But that isn't an excuse for complacency, because we are still halfway down the OECD league table. So whenever they have an opportunity, they should be putting money in science, because it is such a positive thing to do and will lead to economic growth.
What about visas? Have we got the right people coming in?
Well, that's an example. Visas. Why make visas so expensive that it puts people off? Scientists don't get paid that much, and it does put people off. And what we're trying to do is not only train good scientists in the UK, which obviously is central, but attract the very best in the world. Now, if they come here and see these really massive visa and associated costs, it puts them off. They think, well, we're not welcoming. They see that their pay packet is reduced. It is totally fixable. You make an exclusion so that they're not being charged that, because they are going to contribute to things like health and so on in ways that nobody else can.
Well, of course, the government is responding to public concern about migration numbers. Government, the Home Office says, and I'll put to you what they say. They say, excuse me, they say the government is committed to ensuring the UK remains the natural home for world-leading science and research. Many other countries require applicants to have private healthcare insurance as a condition of the visa. This is often more expensive, may incur excess payments, and may not provide the same level of coverage as gained via access to the NHS. So they're responding to public concern, aren't they?
Well, there's a lot of words there, I would say, and I'm not sure that...
Verbiage, you might argue.
Yeah, I'm not sure it actually deals with the problem. Those coming in are paying, of course, taxes. They're paying national insurance. So, I mean, they do contribute. But I repeat, many of them are actually contributing to trying to improve healthcare. I mean, just think about that.
A lot of people would say the great technology of our age is AI. And that if you look across the globe, actually, behind China and the US, some people say we're kind of in sort of third spot, doing okay. And worse, Sir Keir Starmer here, I'm sure you'll have the pleasure of speaking to him at length about your concerns. He might say, we just can't win with you scientists. We commission a review by Matt Clifford, the entrepreneur, on AI. He comes up with 50-odd recommendations. We say we'll pursue all of his recommendations. And still, Paul Nurse goes on the Today programme and gives us hell.
Well, I don't think I've mentioned AI yet, so I don't think they can say yet I'm giving him hell over AI. I think that we have some great AI researchers here. I mean, Demis, who you mentioned, and John Jumpers also, and they are my colleagues in King's Cross, and I've known Demis for 25 years. They are committed to trying to get commercial applications for AI, and AI has a significant role to play in discovery research as well. It is expensive, so we have to balance that with everything else that we do. It isn't going to answer all problems, and we don't yet have the artificial intelligence that we need for all the problems we need to solve, particularly in science, which is not all able to respond to the sorts of tools that can be applied at this present time. It may be able to, but not quite yet.
Can I ask you finally, Sir Paul, about Elon Musk? He was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 2018. I think you've written to him a bit of late, but perhaps not yet received a reply. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you happy for Elon Musk to remain a Fellow of the Royal Society?
Happy isn't the right word exactly. Elon Musk was elected on the basis of his contributions in promoting science, rockets and electric cars. That's why we elect fellows. We don't always elect people we like. We don't always elect people you want to go and have dinner with. But that is, or they may express political opinions we really don't like. But that isn't what the Royal Society is about. However, we can criticise that, and I did indeed write to him, not so much about his political opinions. I mean, I don't like them, but that's something different. It's because he wasn't defending American science in the public sector. And I said, if you can't do that, then you have to ask yourself, do you want to be a Fellow of the Royal Society? And if not, consider resignation.
Okay. Professor Sir Paul Nurse, as ever, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you.